Well, welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Chris and Tammy here. We are excited to share this information with you this evening, and we want to thank you for joining in. And by the way, for all of you in the US, happy Memorial Day, commemorating the men and women that died to serve your country. And you know what, folks, it's just a wonderful day today. Everybody is smiling. Everybody's having a great time. It's a wonderful place to be in the US today. It's unfortunate what happened last week, unfortunately, to these wonderful children. But maybe I shouldn't have brought that up. The point here, folks, happy Memorial Day. It's wonderful to be American today, and we want to thank you for joining us today. If you happen to be on Facebook Live, if you happen to be joining us on Zoom, thank you for being here. Really do appreciate you. This evening, Tammy and I want to talk about the 13-week summer planning, and this is something that is extremely, extremely important. Tammy and I, as a matter of fact, we have been spending a lot of time with the 6-figure, 7-figure, and even 8-figure with the Eric Worre team. And it's really interesting, the conversation we're having. And one of those conversations, I know I touched on it, and we'll talk about that tonight. Eric was suggesting to all the leaders that we need to create an environment to kickstart every market. He explained that every single market around the world has been affected by the pandemic in so many ways. And one of the ways is people got very comfortable working from home. And it's a wonderful thing that we virtualized ourselves. But the point here is we are basically creatures that requires interaction and connection. But in the same time, I do not want you to take risk and to take unnecessary risks in building your business. So depending on what country you're in, depending on what state you're in, wear your mask if you're going to meet some people. I just want to make sure that everybody stays safe. But that is not to say that we really need to start connecting again. And we also know that in the summer, during the summer months, things slows down a lot, right? A lot of people go on vacation. But if you kind of plan your journey throughout the summer with some of the things we're going to suggest for you to do, when it comes time to, when you reach the autumns and you know what I'm saying, when you get to the month of September, October, and so forth, it's August, September, October, it becomes, it's now you'll be able to harvest, what you planted throughout the summer. And we really encourage you to do this. As a matter of fact, I just got feedback from the general manager in Nigeria that everybody's participating, they're putting their name on the lists, and they're all kind of organizing who's going to be presenting and what city they're going to be in, and some are going to be traveling in multiple cities. And this is going to be going on for 13 weeks, and we'll expand on that a little bit. And I'm thinking, well, we can do the same thing in Canada. Now, we can do the same thing in the United States. Go ahead, Tammy.
Of course, Canada and US.
Yes.
Yeah. So right now, basically network marketing, or if you even look at the leaders today out there, the gurus that are doing all these courses, you'll notice now they're going into a hybrid. It's not going to go back the way it used to be 100%, where hotel meetings constantly. You're going to have a good combination of hybrid now with the virtual world and of course the belly to belly. So just adding that, we all need to adjust to however the way is in terms of building our business. And we're seeing a lot of people now getting out. We're seeing I don't know if any of you follow the Philippines in Max, they're all starting to get out, and the kids are just starting to go back to school now. So people are starting, they're careful, they're wearing their masks and stuff. I mean, we still do need to be careful, but I think because it's summertime, what a perfect opportunity for every single one of us to find a way to do something outdoors, whether it's a picnic in a park, inviting some friends, and you can be very casual in building this in the summer. So maybe Chris, we can go through the 13-week and show them what other people are doing to give them ideas. I think and then we'll start brainstorming together.
Absolutely, absolutely. And wanted to welcome you, Gregory. Thank you for joining in from Puerto Rico. It's always a pleasure to have the visitors and everybody to come in. And I know you're celebrating a holiday today. So again, thank you for joining in. Really appreciate the two of you. So what I'd like to do, let me share my screen. And I suggest that you take a shot of that screen. It's possible I might have shared it before. Let me just go ahead and share this right now. Okay. So just to confirm that everybody can see that screen, if you could just give me the thumbs up, the virtual thumbs up, confirming that you're all seeing this. So beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So these are the dates, June, July, and August. Okay. Now, let me give you an example. What's going on in Ghana? In Ghana, there are 7 offices. Okay. And throughout these offices, every single weekend, there are going to be a format that's going to be quite similar to this one over here. What I suggested that they do now, remember what we used to do in North America, you know, it's not silly it's not written on stone. It's just a guideline. So for example, what we used to do is a Friday night, and some of you might recall in the past, we used to have a supper, kind of a get together. Sometimes we had barbecues the night before, and this is how we would be planning the event. Right. And then from there, I'll go into more details as we progress here. And then once we're done and the coordinating of the event itself and the team building and the relationship building and so forth, then we move into the Saturday business opportunity. And it's really important. And I know in North America, we're pretty used to keep things within 60 minutes. We've been trained to do that. But in different markets, sometimes it could go up to 90 minutes, sometimes even 120 minutes, and it could go on a little bit, just because there's so much passion around the product, the science, the testimonies, and so forth. But what's important is that we want guests to want to come back. We want associates to want to come back. And people don't like the extended meeting, especially now today. We got used to like 30 minutes, 20 minutes. You watch Instagram and TikTok. I mean, you flip your thumb as fast, you know what I mean? So the attention span is not like it used to be, and people are absorbing a lot quicker, and they're looking for a quick reference, right? So the fact here is we recommend no more than 90 minutes. In a bigger event, we can, there's a little bit more activities going around, but generally what we want to do is keep this within 60 minutes. That's the ideal. In fact, the presentation format, as many of you have seen how to do an effective presentation, and we've done many of them in Canada, United States. We've done quite a few of them in Ghana, Nigeria, and I did a couple in Congo and in Guinea and different markets, Côte d'Ivoire, and how to do an effective presentation. And generally, the presentation is designed to be 30 minutes to 35 minutes. And many of you, especially those of you that are presenting on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursday evenings, you're used to that, right? And then you follow up with a testimony. So you can go up to 45 minutes, but in a hotel meeting, that could be different, right? But what we're going to be suggesting here within the North American market is not silly a hotel meeting. I want to be careful with, we're just coming out of the pandemic, and the last thing I want is max people are getting sick. I don't want that. So I really recommend, the in-homes, and we'll come back to that in a minute, but it's just to continue on the format. So on this Saturday, we would continue with we would start with the actual meeting. And one of the things that's very, very important is that we have the greeters. This is something that I found has been one of the most impactful part of the event. As silly as this may be, is the greeters, the people that are actually helping people finding a seat, welcome them in. It creates such an environment that is attractive to people. I know I love it, and I'm sure that people feel the same way. So that's something I really think we need to refocus on or doing, and having music, make sure there's not dead air, right? A little bit of sound. As you know me, I love the music, and giving some synergy and energy and so forth. And then from there, you determine who's going to be the MC. It's nice to have someone that gives a bit of a guideline as what are we going to be talking about here. My name is so and so. This is my story. And today, before I introduce the speakers, we're going to be covering on a little bit of our products, a little bit of our science, a little bit of our products, and the vision is the opportunity. Because without the opportunity, you can have the best products in the world. You're not going to make money. You're not going to sell. Everything falls apart. So the opportunity is equally important. So it's very important as you do your events that you do not undermine the opportunity in fear that someone may not be interested. Because if they're not interested, that's fine. They're not going to make money anyway, right? So the fact here is you want to have a balance between the opportunity and the product. I do not recommend that you cut the two in half and ask permission for the opportunity. That is doomed for failure, okay? So I'm straightforward with that. I do not bend the rules on this because I've been in this business for too long. I have experience on that. So it's very important that you balance the two, and the testimonies will create some synergy, some excitement around the event. And then you can take a bit of a break, because when you do your event, what's important is you've got to give time to people to absorb the information, to ask the questions, because honestly, I call it the meeting after the meeting. It's extremely important. Right. And then Tammy, I'll get you an opportunity to add to this as soon as I'm done here. The last point is the onboarding process, right? Once it's done, even if people haven't made the decision to sign up yet, answering the questions and telling them a little bit of that, the how-tos and the onboarding process, use the board. You know, it's attractive when someone says, you know, the meeting is done, you show them how to download the board, they have it on their phone, and now they have all the resources that are so powerful that, you know, in the palm of their hands. And now you can show them exactly how they can talk to their contacts just by sharing information, following up with a phone call, right? So the onboarding process, money-making activities. So that could be, you know, half an hour, it could be an hour, it could be 2 hours. It's really up to you and the maturity of your organization, right? If it's brand new people, you don't want to put them through a 2-hour training. You want to put them in a quick kind of half hour, 45 minutes getting started, so you don't kind of burn their ears off, right? So there's a lot of common sense to all of that. So this is kind of what I recommend that we do in June 4th, 11th, 18th, 25th. And I know it may seem like a lot when you look at it, but if everybody participate, it doesn't mean that you individually have to do every weekend. Now you can actually hop to one home, to another home, you know, in your environment. Imagine on June 4th or June 11th or June 18th, we have like 15 to 25 in-homes going on across Canada and the United States, from the East Coast to the West Coast. I mean, that is hot. That's what we used to do. And we need to go back into that format, again, being responsible. Okay. So Tammy, do you want to add anything else to that?
I mean, you know, a lot of people, they talk about in-homes and think that they have to have a whole lot of people. And I just want to let you know that some of the greatest in-homes weren't ones that had a whole lot of people. So don't freak out thinking, oh my gosh, I don't know too many people, or I'm not comfortable to be around a lot of people right now. Do small and gradually build up. And there's so many things that we can do, you guys. Boardrooms. I'm sure there's tons of boardrooms out there that you could borrow or lease or whatever. I even coffee shops. I was talking to some of the girls, I think it was Saturday, that we were talking about different ideas. Back in the day, Chris and I used to do luncheons, business luncheons, on a regular basis. And we would invite business professionals that were influencers in their environment. And we'd arrange with the restaurant that they would have a $10 meal. I mean, back, it was a few years back. So maybe $15, right? Including a beverage. And then have your team invite some people. And if they have a private area of the restaurant, which is what we had, and we did really well driving volumes through entrepreneurs, through the business environment. Another thing that we've done, like a coffee shop, some coffee shops, and do your homework, you guys, you know your market. Some coffee shops actually have little rooms in the back. I know that the Williams coffee shop, I don't know if they still exist. I think there's one in London, or did it go? Okay, so things that you can look at and find out if they have a little bit of a private area, a closed room that you could set up a projector, I know there's some places that you can do that. So do your homework in the area, outdoor stuff. Think of all the things where you can, it's not going to cost a lot of money to do. And that you could start the foundation of building your business, belly to belly now. I mean, we eventually do have to come back together. I know some people are really nervous about it. Some people are okay about it. You can have a mask mandate. And they're your events, right? So you get to choose. And I think people are pretty respectful. And of course, they understand when people are coming together. So I'm not sure what's going on in your markets because each one of you live in different cities. So
now, Tammy, what I'd like to make a suggestion is this. I'm going to ask Marcel to create a calendar that we can have people that like to do it in-home, that like to do a barbecue, and just to kind of have it organized. Okay. And it's entirely up to you. I can tell you that Tammy and I, we are prepared, we are ready, and our summer is going to be very productive. We want you to be productive, but we're not going to dictate you on what to do. It's your business. It is your life. You choose what you want to do. I can tell you that we are, but I don't recommend that you wait that we organize something to determine your life and the value of your life and your business. It's your business. We're here to coach you. We're here to guide you, but you need to make the decision to create the environment for you to be able to expose the information to your social environment. And don't worry about, I don't have anybody, don't worry. At the end of the day, let's start planning an event around you. Okay. And one thing that we can do in some cases, I know that Tammy and I need to go visit my mom. We have to go visit her parents. I got to go visit my dad. He's in a home. And so we have a lot of catching up to do when we're back in Canada. But here's the point. What I'd like to suggest is, I know Tammy and I are doing a lot of presentation worldwide, and people are requesting our presence, and we would like to offer the same thing for you. Okay. I know we know each other very well and we're neighbors, and we say, we're Chris and Tammy, no big deal. But at the end of the day, we are living that life that most people have to plan to go on vacation. For us, that is our life. This is how our life is designed. And we can share that information as we are sharing our testimony, as we're sharing our experiences through our eyes to create some value. Because I'm telling you, Tammy and I were saying, could you imagine how many people would love to live that lifestyle that we have? We're used to it because that's how we designed it. But I can tell you that a lot of folks would love to have, access to this kind of lifestyle. And the thing you can, but it's all mindset, right? So are you a person who's going to lead, or you're a victim? I mean, at the end of the day, you choose. So the fact here is that we are organizing this 13-week global tour. And I'm telling you, it's taking place right now. This is happening all over the world. And we want this to also be in our own turf. So we want you to be part of it, but we're not going to push you or force you. It's entirely up to you, but we're designing the plan. And if you want to be part of it, I suggest that you participate. And if you participate, I assure you that your volume will grow. Okay. And of course, like I said, to come back to a full circle, is as you do your events, we could maybe be there physically, as we've done with many of you in the past, or we can be there virtually, or we can do a quick little video, which many other markets have asked us to do for their events, like a 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute video that you can just post. And, you may feel it may sound a little corny. It is not if it's properly presented, if it's properly introduced. If you present the opportunity and you're sharing that you're partnered with some people who have made millions with this company that are living this incredible lifestyle, and you wanted them to hear from her mouth, to witness from our eyes what we've been living through and how we've overcome some of the challenges, whatever it is that you want us to cover, we will create something. So this is something that I would love for you to participate. If you're willing to participate, give me a thumbs up here. Give me a thumbs up if you're willing to participate to this 13-week global tour. I'm not saying you're going to have to be stuck every Saturdays. And if you don't want to lift your thumbs up, that's fine. That's totally okay.
So Chris and I, just so you know, we'll be participating in anybody who wants to do an event. We're going to be participating either way. We'll figure it out how we're going to be present to it. The only one that we cannot do is June 4th, because we're just getting back, and this weekend, obviously it's kind of last minute, but we can extend a week in September to have that full 13 weeks if we all choose to. One of those events we're doing at our condo, but we have to get back.
Birthday on June 4th, guys.
So we got to be back. Well, it's more to see the grandkids. So we have to be back because we need to speak to the condo. There's new management in our condo in Toronto to find out the boardroom.
Yeah, what we can do, what we can't do, how many people.
Barbecue outside, as you all know who have been to our place. It's a great environment. People can sit outside too. And it's spacious as well. So, so we plan on doing one of them. It'll probably be in July. So we have to look at those weekends and obviously work it out with the condo. I know that John Winterholler is working with Mike and Chris and I, and we're looking at dates, and just put the 6th of August for now. The weekend of the 6th of August. I know that John's looking at the cruise, Obsession cruise.
You know, the one that we did back in 2000, was it 16, 17 or 18? I forgot.
We had
so I kind of plugged the idea to Max to do this, and they love the idea. And they're willing to sponsor it. Now, they might be a small entry, but I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what's involved there, but just wanted to let you know. And what we can do is we can actually plan around that event, right? So when we do our Saturdays in homes, for example, and I really recommend you do this. And as soon as I'm done this call, I'm going to leave a quick message to Marcel to create a schedule for the North American market. That's Canada and the United States, okay? Because in Ghana, they have their own. In Nigeria, they have their own. In Kenya, they're doing their own. In the Philippines, they're doing their own. And in North America, I'd love for all of you to participate. I would love to go from the East Coast to the West Coast and something happening every weekend. Folks, I'm telling you, this is going to wake up the world. And it's not just the event per se, it's the noise that it's going to make. Because one thing that's very important is taking pictures, posting the pictures, tag people to your pictures. And my suggestion is, if you're going to tag me, tag Active Team Group page. Okay. If you tag me, what's happening is I get overwhelmed with pictures. And I find that if I accept all of them, I lose my audience like crazy, because it's just too much. But there's some that if it's a cool picture and there's something fun and it's a little video, it could have a bit of a humor, I definitely will accept it. But it's not because I don't want you to post. Is that, like, if you're posting your events or things like this, it gets repetitive and it's too often, and I lose the audience. And I found that. Okay, so just with that. But on Active Team, this is a team group, right? And also we have the what do you call the one that we created, Tammy?
The Facebook group. I think that's the platform.
What is it called?
The Active Team Experience.
Okay,
I think that's the platform, Chris, that we're doing all this campaign stuff. So I think we should focus in that group. And those who are not part of it yet, you'll want to be part of it, because we plan on doing a lot of activities through campaign. This will be a 13-week campaign. So
no, I'm telling you. Sorry, Tammy, go ahead. I'm excited.
So the weeks that you can do an event, post it in the calendar so that everybody can participate that are in the area. And so let's just open it up, Chris, because I really want to get everybody's feedback.
Yeah. So is there anybody who has any feedback or anything at all that you'd like to share, some ideas comments, anything at all, please go ahead and maybe raise your hand so that way we can kind of control who wants to speak. And while you're doing this, so I don't put too much pressure on you, what I like I said, just to recap, is we're going to create a calendar schedule. I'm going to ask Marcel to organize that. And I recommend that you booked yourself for one of those Saturdays. And at the end of the day, if you want to have results, right, measure your intensity by the amount of results you want, right? Tammy and I were in a bracket where we're looking for 7-figure. So our amount of work may be very different. For some of you, they're not interested in getting 7-figure. You want 6-figure, or maybe you just want 5-figure, whatever it is that you want to do, right? But you have to understand that you have to be realistic. If you want to have big results, we have to increase the intensity. And another thing that's important, if you always lead with a product and all you do is product knowledge and product information and product training, don't expect much business. You will get customers, but customers are fickle. They'll come and go, come and go, come and go. But associates will last a lot longer because there's an invested interest in consuming and telling other people about it. So that's what we've been training. That's what we've done. You're aware of our results, and I will never deviate from that ever. Now, the fact is, do I sometime will in some cases I may be 80% product? Yes, it's a possibility, because at the end of the day, if I'm dealing with a prospect that the business didn't really caught on, which is rare because I tend to get people to really see the big picture based on my views on the possibilities, but not everybody has that. So, sometimes, if you're geared towards the product knowledge and the product, just understand that you may need someone to complement your efforts to be able to build you up when it comes to the opportunity. Don't shy away from that. That's the opportunity is the vision in the future. The product is knowledge, right? And the product is our spine. Without a spine, the body has no substance. You understand? So the products are important, but the fact is you need a carrot to get people to want to take the time and to even go to the trouble of getting involved in something like this, so they can feed their families and they can fulfill their dreams, as we know many have done. So if you have, I noticed they have raised their hand. Is there any feedback, comments? Let me pause it and I'll stop for a minute and give anybody a chance to share. Don't speak all at the same time, guys.
Chris, Bill here. So the idea is to pick one Saturday out of those 2 months. I was under the impression do it every Saturday, but no, that's not what you're saying. Just pick a Saturday or a Friday night or.
Yeah, see, the thing is, I don't want you to go, it's up to you. Every Saturday might be a little bit intense because I know you have a life. I know it's a summer. You may have, different activities, friends and families and kids and so forth. You know what I mean? It's like, it's up to you, right? I can tell you that Tammy and I probably every Saturday, we're going to be involved somewhere with someone. In some cases, we'll be visiting your homes and, as we've done before, right? We're going to be back in Canada. And so to answer your question, it's really entirely up to you. But the idea is to pick some of the Saturdays and then we concentrate efforts, right? We can do a nice flyer about this and start promoting and showing everything that's going on. And maybe you can do your event, and your event could also be virtual. I mean, there's so many things that we can do. So sorry for the long answer to your question, Bill. At the end of the day, you pick and choose. It could be one of the Saturdays. It could be 2 of the Saturdays in the month. It could be, a lot of them. It's entirely up to you.
Yeah, depends on how fast you want to go into momentum too. And for example, you have Barbara Ann and Paul, who are also, just outside of London. They may want to grab a couple Saturdays in those 3 segments. So you guys can have discussions on that, because you don't want to overlap the Saturday where you can support each other, right? So same thing, Scott and Alice, you guys out there, Lucy and Sylvie Cosette out in Quebec City.
Stop with
Mid-A,
those hamburgers, man. If I was you, I would do these barbecues. I mean, that just the food alone is very attractive. You'll get people to come. But one thing that I just want to mention, folks, is make sure that it doesn't turn out just to a social gathering. Now, let me tell you something. I'll be honest that for the past 2.5 years, we haven't done a lot of those. So even the social gathering will help you maintain and grow your business. I'm not kidding. But try to bring new business. Right? Don't just wait for whoever shows up. Just work throughout the week to make the invitation. Don't worry if they're not interested. Don't worry if they don't show up. Trust me, people are people and they'll do what they will do. You do the sharing, you do the prospecting, you use the board, you share information, and you might be surprised who may actually show up you never thought would have, just by the fact that you've been consistent and congruent in sharing in your social environment. But the social gathering, we haven't done that for a while. So I'm telling you, this is one of the reasons why the cruise is something that we're very excited about. So imagine if the whole summer we all work on those weekends, and then when it comes to August 6th, if everything is approved and everything is moving forward, now this could be pushed a little later, I don't know yet, because it's still in the works. But imagine if we can push that event, and once it's firm, then every Saturday when we have those events, we're going to push that event, and we're going to have so much fun with that. So again, just keep in mind that we don't want to just do a gathering, but you want to bring new business, right? And yeah, so that's
and
that.
so continuing there, Chris, Janet, Josie, Allison, there's quite a few that are in the Burlington area. And you've got Olga in Toronto. I know, Beth, you guys are in Indiana. Yeah, you could probably easily do something where we can support that. Zoom presentations too. You could always add a Zoom segment for those who can't make it to maximize. You can do that as well. So it's putting it all together. And if any of you have any questions, you
know what? And one thing, Tammy, is the Puerto Ricans, they know how to put a party together. Right?
Yes.
So I hope that you'll invite us at your events, right? Would love to pop in with a Zoom session. And we're just coming back from the US. So for right now, we have to stay put for a little bit. But would love to pop in and be part of your event. And I know, Linda, you raised your hand, so thank you for participating. So please go ahead.
Thanks, Chris. I just wanted to find that mute button. What I'm hearing is, so this is really helpful. I'm really excited. Just a new chapter, new connections with people. And the summer is always a time of high energy anyway. Just want to clarify, it's okay for us to collaborate with each other, right? So I just heard Tammy talk about, many people in the Toronto area. And so, this isn't something that we have to go and do with our teams. Like specifically, this is something that can be opened up to maybe a few teams.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, everybody. At the end, Tammy and I have always encouraged, people connecting with everybody. We've always been an open book that way. Sometimes it doesn't serve us well, but at the end of the day, I believe in open communication. I believe in make sure that people can spread their wings as far as they possibly can, so they can, build that rapport, build the relationship, and everything else. And we want to be there to complement and contribute to anything you do. So absolutely, I really encourage and recommend a collaboration. Absolutely.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Anybody else would like to add or contribute?
You got Janet, did you want to, I know you moved forward, so, oh, you're good. Okay. So who wants to do an in-home presentation or create some type of a boardroom luncheon outside, something? Who wants to do one in the group that are here? I know we're kind of throwing it out there right now, but who wants to do one? At least one in the whole session.
Okay, so Beth and Josie, excellent.
Excellent.
Okay. Okay, Linda and Bill, beautiful.
One question though, does it
Alice?
have to be?
Oh, please go ahead.
Does it have to be on a Saturday? Because I might not be able to do Saturday. I could do Sunday.
It can be a
Oh,
Sunday.
yeah. As a matter of fact,
Absolutely.
in Ghana, Saturdays are not good days because of weddings and funerals. And, so
Yeah.
there's a lot of, they're going to be doing them on Sundays, actually Nigeria, I believe.
Yeah.
So absolutely. I see, as long as that something is occurring, on a weekly basis and during the weekend, because most people work. And so that's the idea. And the fact is we want to kickstart the market. It's like people have been sleepwalking for 2.5 years right now. And this is something that we're initiating worldwide. And I'm telling you, it's working. People are there. We can feel the synergy, the electricity. I actually see the volume growing, and I see the activities growing, and I see people's pin ranks increasing. And so it's working. It's working. We can do this all over the world. It's all in the mind. All we need to do is actually do the activities. And I know at the beginning, some of you maybe didn't react yet, but you might be the first one who's going to do one. So that's totally cool. I think if we can have that schedule in place, I'm going to consult with Marcel. She has some great ideas with something like that. And once it's out there, what we suggest that you book that weekend. And don't worry about who's going to show up. Don't worry about things like that. Focus on your business, and then let's get to work in filling in the seats. And then we can turn around and concentrate. And maybe what we can do is, those of you that are doing an event, let's start blasting it. Let's start promoting it. You know what I mean? And we'll have them on our website. We can send an email. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we can get Marcel also to create 2 or 3 different looks to an event, whether it's a barbecue event, and people can just grab the template and put pictures on it of who's going to be there presenting, or a special guest. You can even leverage each other as a guest, right?
I agree.
There's so many things that we can do. Yeah.
Now, another thing that I noticed a lot, and I know that it depends on the generation, right? And I know that social media, it's not instinctive for everybody. Like for me, Tammy is all the time. For me, sometimes it's like pulling teeth. I would
do it all the time.
Yeah, but I do it, right? I do it, right? And so I really, really recommend that whenever you do any kind of events, any kind of activities, I know, Janet, you've been wonderful in sharing a lot of the things that you do on a regular basis. So it's important that you post your activities, that you post the things that you do. Okay, stay in the context of Max, right? Because we want to continue this kind of environment and not creating confusion. But the point is, you got to tell the world what you're up to, what you do. This is really important. And it's that, and when the world are seeing all these pictures and videos and clips coming from Canada, coming from the United States, coming from Ghana, coming from Nigeria, coming from the Philippines, it creates a synergy worldwide. I'm telling you, it's contagious, right? And if you're plugged into these folks, and then your audience on your Facebook social media environment, they keep seeing all these things, and Max this and Max there, and Max doing this here, and this is testimony there, and you know what I mean? So all of these things create an attraction, and that's what makes the system work. If you're too quiet and you're like a secret agent, nobody knows you exist, nobody knows what you do. You might be doing a lot of work on the background, but nobody sees anything. So we're not in the 80s and 90s and 2000 and 2010 and 2020. We're in 2022, right? So everything is publicized. Now, I mean, obviously, I'm using I'm telling you, use common sense on it. I'm talking when it comes to reference to your business. I understand some things we don't want our life to be exposed, even though our children are constantly exposing everything all the time. I don't know why, but good and bad. But the fact here is, what's important is to have some activities on a regular basis, and your viewers are going to notice you. They're going to notice you. What's going on? I've noticed a lot of activities, and that will lead to a conversation, that could lead to a prospect, that could lead to a new sign-up. Go ahead, Tammy.
Yeah, and offer something too when people come over, because you can do shooters with ATP, Enfuse, or you can give them a little a little gift. You know, people like gifts. So these are ways to get them over to your place. You know, all the guests that arrive, that are obviously your guests, or if you're a combination together, you guys have to figure it out, but you want to make sure that you give a little gift. You know, people, they love that. So just start thinking of some creative ideas that you can do and that you can have fun with it. And if you're going to do like barbecues, potlucks, you can add a fee to that, right? If it's hamburgers or whatever, you can add a fee of $5 or whatever for hamburgers, and people bring salads. I mean, it's your event, so you can create whatever you're going to create. You can add stuff to that flyer on what your
Maybe
event
to add to your comment, Tammy, when it comes to that, if let's say you open it to everybody, at one point you have to protect your budget. And it might be okay if you open it to everybody, to, you know, people are spending $5, you know, for whatever. And that's totally cool. If you're doing this for your team knows you're benefiting. You know, sometimes there's a certain common sense as to why there might be some, you know, small fees, but I mean, just use your common sense with all of that, right? If it's an investment to build your team, it's worth it. But if it's something that you're opening up to everybody and everybody can come in, at one point, you got to protect your budget, and that's where Tammy comes from with that. Okay.
Yeah, that's what we've been used to doing in the barbecue weekends. So when we were doing events, so and again, you know, these are your events. You can do whatever you want. Get creative. Add a 30-minute short presentation, not a long presentation, because remember, you're mingling with your guests. And people are going to tell stories. You're going to bring your guests over to say hi to another associate, and they're going to tell their story. And by the time your guest leaves, they're gonna feel like they're part of the family already. And
what's really important, when guests leave, try and make sure they don't leave empty-handed. Make sure they get a flyer, they get documentation. Maybe you can sell some of your products depending on where you are. If there's people that are coming in, you don't know where they're from, you may want to charge. It's again, just organize. It's a business, folks. Treat it as a business. This is not a hobby. This is not charity. This is called a business. Treat it as such, and you will reap the rewards. If you treat it as a, you know, as a hobby, you will get a hobby income, and that's a fact. So, and we can help you with this. Here's the call to action. As we end this call here today, here's a call to action. Let me share the screen one more time. Maybe you can do a screenshot if you didn't do it already. Okay. And what I recommend here is take a screenshot of this. If you happen to be in Facebook Live, just take a screenshot with your, you know, snapshot your screen. If you're on the computer, do a snapshot of your screen and keep those dates. And here's your homework. Many of you are part of the Canada USA group that are here, okay? And what I suggest here is pick some of those dates, okay? Pick some of those dates. If I see no post, that's fine. That means nobody's doing anything, and that's totally up to you. But what I would like to see is which Saturday would you like to do? And if don't turn around and says, well, I'm going to do August 27. No, that's too far, right? So I suggest pick something in June, you know?
Yeah. If you can do June, July, August, it'll be, you'll get huge benefits. And you have time, because you know what happens is you get one done in June, and you may have 2 new associates that signed up. Well, maybe those associates want to have a barbecue at their house and invite their guests and have you come over to present for theirs. Now you're going into momentum, right?
Okay. So the fact here, just to finish this stuff, that means, and the reason I'm asking this is, I know I told you we got to create a calendar for you to be able to fill in, but I don't want you to wait on that. I don't want you to wait on that to determine, oh, I'm waiting for Chris to give me the link so I can post my, no. Pick a date now. Let's start planning it. Let's start gearing for it.
Mhm.
And maybe some of them, Tammy and I will be able to attend if it's within the GTA area or area that we can actually attend. Okay. So this is your homework for tonight. And the fact is, and again, if I'm being a little bit pushy on this, is because, you know, I know we need to kickstart this thing. And I know sometimes it's not easy. Just, it's worth it. It's so worth it. So I want you to book, and I'm telling you, you'll be grateful once you booked
It'll be
that and you had your
fun.
events.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tammy.
And it'll be fun, you know, just getting back together, those barbecue memories that we've all had, hanging out at each other's. So it'll be fun to do that.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I hope that you kind of take this to heart. And if you need some help on organizing, geez, we've done this so often. There's so many different versions that we can share with you. My recommendation is, let's say you're new and there's not a lot of, let's say, mature leader within your environment, okay? We could do, for example, we can step in, and after you've done your Saturday BOM, let's say it's a presentation you shared on your TV, or maybe you decide to do a virtual one, right? Whatever it is that you choose. Tammy and I could step in and we can do an onboarding and, you know, money-making activities, you know, simple things. You tell us what your audience you feel would want to hear. And Tammy and I can also kind of, we can think on our feet, right? We can adjust to whoever's there and who showed up and whatever. But what's important is we start taking an active role in the summer and not falling asleep. If you want your volume to grow, we need to do the activities. And sometimes when you do something new, it's a little bit uncomfortable for a period of time. But if you keep repeating it and you stay the course, it becomes more and more comfortable. And what used to be uncomfortable, now it's very comfortable, and it's part of your daily method of operation. And this is how your business will grow. And don't fear that someone may not be interested because of the opportunity. Who cares? It's okay. Because if they're not going to be interested in the opportunity, why in the heck do you want to waste time there anyway? The fact is, if they want to default to a product, sure, cool. I love those. I love my customers. But I'm not going to spend a lot of time there because I know they're not going to feed me. They're not going to feed my family. They're not going to feed our goals. They're not going to feed our dreams. They're not going to help me get our teams to move up in ranks. It's that simple. So the opportunity is important. And remember that mindset is everything. And money is not important. Is what you can do with it that matters. And always remember that money ranks right up there with oxygen. You breathe better with more. And that's the bottom line. And I'm very bold about it. Maybe that's the reason why I make a lot of money. I want you to make a lot of money. Now, that level of income, it's entirely up to you. I don't want to impose what I believe is in, you know, what we're aiming for. What I want to do is I want to contribute to help you get to what would be a comfortable income for you. I know in North America, $10,000 US a month, which turns out to be about, you know, 13, 14, whatever, 13, 2,900, 12,000, almost 13,000 Canadian. That's a great income for many, right? Even 6,000 or 5,000 a month or 3,000 a month. It's entirely up to you. But folks, I'm telling you, the hardest part is to make that regular $500 a month.
Yeah.
That is the hardest part, to make that $500 a month. And if you're having a hard time maintaining that $500 a month, let me tell you why. You're too product focused. Not enough business opportunity. We have to shift that. And the reason I'm bold with you on this, folks, it's because I'm listening to Eric Worre and I'm listening to these multi-millionaires in network marketing. My God, they're not shy about it. Mm-hmm. I kind of became shy a little bit because I know I'm strong when it comes to the opportunity and I don't want to overwhelm people. But at the end of the day, I'm not serving you well if I'm not strong about it. All the big income earners that you hear that are doing all these silly things on TikTok and Instagram, and they're doing all these weird, they're all money driven. Mm. They all are. Don't kid yourself. Even if you think, oh, they're so about to put, no, they're all about the opportunity. The product is the byproduct. And that's what I default to. So I hope that helps you guys. And don't be scared. If you do it in home, I promise you, we will not scare them off. We're going to be the little pussycats.
We're going to have fun.
We're going to have a lot of fun, right? But I have my ways to include and to share and to, to kind of plant the seeds of possibilities when it comes to the opportunity. So my recommendation is invite us to your event. Don't hide from us. We will help you get there. And we will help you to shift from the product, knowledge, education, university aspect of what you might do to the opportunity, because the product is equally important as the opportunity. But often what happens is we don't put enough accent to the opportunity itself in fear of turning them off. Turn them off. It's okay. It will save you an enormous amount of hours and time and money, right? If you know they're not interested, you don't need to spend a lot of time there, but you want to default them to a product, and that's totally cool. So that's my 2 cents on the point of the opportunity. And I'm telling you folks, those of you that wants to have a great summer, and by come to September, October, November, we start to 2023, if you want to have the kind of income I'm talking about, the $5,000 and the $10,000 a month, I'm just giving you the recipe here. It's the Saturdays, 4th, 11th, 18th, 25th of June. 2nd, 9th, 16th, 23rd, and 30th of July. August 6th, which we might end up being on a cruise, if you're willing. And again, I don't know if this is official or not. It's all talk right now. And then the 13th, the 20th, and the 27th of August.
Yeah, we'll talk to John and see what that date is. So we'll wrap it up and reach out to us. Let us know what dates make sense to you and work for you guys. If you need any support in some creative ideas, let us know. And yeah.
Hey, Susan, I'll make a deal with you.
Let's have some fun.
You got 30 people in your room, I'll show up.
Oh, pressure.
Are you up to? I'm not going to show up for 5 people, but I will show up for 30. Are you game?
All right, I'll see what I can do.
Okay, I'm on.
She's got her daughter, and yeah.
That's what, a 6-hour drive or something like that? Oh, is there a Tesla charger there?
Yeah, there's one at 17 and 6.
Perfect. We're done. Okay, so you get 30 and we'll commit. Okay, everybody, listen, have yourself a wonderful, wonderful evening. Thank you for attending, and thank you for your patience with my passion when it comes to the opportunity. I assure you, we want to help you make some good income with Max International. Have a great evening, everybody. Bye-bye.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Bye, Jack.
Bye.
See you. Bye, everybody.
Oh, thanks.
Bye-bye, guys.